We are back for another week of Kids Corner, and the summer is rushing by. Before long, it's going to be time for school to start again. But before school starts, there are more things that we need to learn and review together. Things from the Bible that your parents really want you to learn. And this week, Miss Claire is going to begin a new story. And then Dr. Lovegrove will have an important lesson. And both the story and the lesson are going to focus on our need to love truth. Loving honesty and telling the truth from the heart. Listen carefully.
Christopher Churchmouse was in a hurry to get home. He rushed around the corner and he bumped right into Freddie Fieldmouse, his friend. "Oh, excuse me, Freddie, what have you got in your wagon?" "Hi, Christopher," said his friend, Freddie Fieldmouse. "These are wood shavings from the woodshed. Grandpa has all of us mice boys working this afternoon. He said these shavings will make some really warm nests for us this winter. Hey, why aren't you helping us?" I have some other things I have to do," Christopher said. Some work I have to do this afternoon." "Oh, I see," said Freddie. "Well, I've got to go, Chris. There's a lot more work to be done." "All right, Freddie, don't work too hard," said Christopher, and off he scrambled. As soon as Freddie was out of sight, Christopher let out a long sigh. Whew. Wow, that was close. If I'm not careful, I'll end up working in the woodshed with the rest of the boys. That is the hottest place to be in the summer. There's no way they'll catch me in there, said Christopher. When he got home, Mama Churchmouse said, "Christopher, your grandfather was here." "He was?" Christopher asked. "Yes, he said he had something to ask you. I told him you'd be here later this afternoon. Now I have to go out for a while. Be sure to stay home until you see Grandpa." Mama took Christopher's baby sister and the shopping basket and left. Christopher thought, "Grandpa's coming to get me for work. I just know it. Well, he won't find me. I'll go hide in the church storeroom." And Christopher hurried off to a special place in the church storeroom that only he knew about. "Grandpa will never find me here," he thought, and he spent a lazy afternoon doing just what he wanted to do. When he came home for supper, Mama Churchmouse asked, "Where have you been, Christopher?" "Oh, around," Christopher said. "Your grandpa was here looking for you," said Papa Churchmouse. "He was?" Christopher asked innocently. "Yes, he said he had something to ask you." "Well, I must have missed him somehow," said Christopher. Mama Churchmouse said, "Christopher, didn't I tell you to stay home this afternoon because your grandpa wanted to see you?" "Yes, Mama, I was home," said Christopher. And what had he just done? He had just lied. "I was home all day." That's strange," said Papa. "Strange that Grandpa wasn't able to talk to you if you were home all day." "Yes, well, maybe I didn't hear him at the door," lied Christopher again. After supper, Christopher went out to play. He was bouncing a ball against the church steps when he saw Grandpa coming down the sidewalk. "Christopher," Grandpa called, hobbling along as fast as he could with his cane. "Christopher, I have something to ask you," shouted Grandpa. Sure, Grandpa. I'll talk to you tomorrow. I hear Mama calling right now," lied Christopher. "I've got to go." He darted into the church, leaving Grandpa outside. As soon as he got inside, Christopher felt bad that he had done such a terrible thing to his grandpa. "But I just know he's going to ask me to work in the woodshed," thought Christopher, "and I really don't want to." That night, when Mama tucked Christopher into bed, she asked, "Have you seen your grandfather yet?" No, Mama, lied Christopher. I haven't seen him all evening. Why, that's funny, said Mama. He was here looking for you. I told him you were playing outside. Didn't you see him? No, Mama, said Christopher. After Mama turned out the light, Christopher lay in bed, wishing that he had not told that last lie. He was feeling awful that he lied to his Mama. Christopher had heard the pastor saying many times that lying was wrong. He began to think back over the afternoon. How many times have I lied, he thought. Let's see, there was the first time to Freddie, and then there was the first time to Mama, and then to Mama again, and then to Papa, and then to Grandpa, and now to Mama again. Oh dear, can you see how awful he's feeling about it? Oh my, thought Christopher, I didn't mean to tell all of those lies. It was just that after I told the first one, I had to keep lying. Well, I won't tell any more, he said to himself, and he gave his pillow a pat and quickly fell asleep. The next morning, we will have to see what happens next week. Can Christopher stop lying or not?
Lie not, the Bible says. That is one of the 10 Commandments. Instead, my mouth shall speak truth, says Proverbs. That's the opposite of lying, telling the truth. But why tell the truth? Just because it's right? Because you have to? Because you will get in trouble if you don't? In Zechariah 8, God goes beyond these motives, and he says, love the truth. Tell the truth because you love the truth. I really want to know what is true. I want other people to know the truth. I want to tell what is true because I love truth. Because I love God, and truth is a part of God's character. For example, Deuteronomy calls God the God of truth. Jesus said, I am the truth. Jesus called the Holy Spirit the Spirit of truth. Truth is a part of who God is. I couldn't think of a good picture to go with the idea of truth, so instead I wrote the word truth in different languages. Because some things are just true for all people, in all times, in all places, in all languages. That's what truth means. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but by me. He is the only way. Truth comes up over and over again in the Bible. The Bible itself is called the Word of Truth. Do you know about the Christian's armor in Ephesians 6? Part of the armor is the belt of truth. The city Jerusalem in the millennium will be called the city of truth, because truth is the foundation for everything good. We live in what people call the information age, and we are flooded with information. Much of it is simply not true. Sometimes it's really hard to figure out who is telling the truth. But if you really love the truth, you will try. You will try hard to figure out what's true, because we need to know the truth. I want to tell you my favorite story about telling the truth. This is a true story. It really happened. It's about a little girl who loved to tell the truth. The story starts in the country called the Netherlands. The Netherlands is famous for windmills, for famous painters. The Netherlands is where the Pilgrims went before they came to America. The Netherlands is a very interesting place. In 1892, a little girl was born in the Netherlands. Her name was Cornelia. Our story happens 45 years later, when she is now a grown-up lady, but not married. So she lives with her sister Betsy and her father, who is now an old man. Most people called her Corrie ten Boom. She and her family were Christians, and it was 1940. It was the middle of World War II, and Nazi Germany invaded and conquered the Netherlands. This was a very sad time in the Netherlands. All the young people were being taken into the German army. All of the Jews were being sent to concentration camps. Corrie and her family wanted to help, so they became part of what was known as the underground. They helped people to hide and to escape. So, Corrie's family had a hiding place in their house. Many people did. That's one reason Corrie called her famous book The Hiding Place. But there's another reason too. The other reason is that Corrie was a Christian, and the Bible calls God our hiding place. Now, one night, Corrie was at her sister Nellie's house, and Nellie had a hiding place too. It was under the kitchen floor. A trap door opened up, and a couple of people could get in a small space under the floor. Then they would put a rug over the trap door and a table on top of the rug. They were sitting around the kitchen table talking one night, when suddenly her nephews Peter and Bob came running in. They were the right age to go into the German army, and the Germans were looking for them. So they hopped in the hiding place, and Nellie covered it with the table just in time. Cocky covered it with a big tablecloth and started setting the table for tea. In came the German soldiers, and they started searching the house. "Stay where you are! Do not move!" they shouted. Cocky, Corrie's niece, dropped a cup and it broke. She was scared. One of the soldiers went right up to Cocky. "Where are your brothers?" he demanded. She didn't answer. "Did you have brothers?" he insisted. Now, Cocky had always been taught to tell the truth. She had been taught to respect soldiers and policemen. What would she do? Corrie was worried. Would she tell where her brothers were? "I have 3 brothers," Cocky said slowly, truthfully. "How old are they now?" the soldier demanded. 21, 19, and 18, she replied. "Where are they now?" Cocky didn't want to answer. She bent over to pick up the broken teacup, but the soldier roughly jerked her upright. "Where are your brothers?" he asked again. "My oldest brother is away at school," Cocky said truthfully. "What about the other 2?" he demanded. Cocky smiled and said, "They are under the table." The soldier told everyone to move away from the table. He pointed his gun at the table. He jerked away the tablecloth, and there was nothing they could see under the table. Cocky was scared, but she couldn't help but laugh. They were under the table, but not the way the soldier thought. The soldier was angry. Was this little girl laughing at him? Was she making fun of him? He thought Cocky was just joking. "Don't take us for fools," he shouted, and he marched out of the room. Her brothers were safe. That night, the grown-ups had a big discussion about what happened. Of course, they were thankful that the boys were not discovered. But did Cocky have to tell the truth? Her mom said yes. God honors truth-telling with perfect protection, she said. Corrie ten Boom was not so sure. Isn't it illogical to say the truth and do a lie? She asked. In fact, they had told some lies to the Germans in the past. Father said, if you did, I am sure it was spoken in love. Love, thought Corrie. How did one show it? How could God himself show truth and love at the same time in a world like this? By dying. The answer stood out for me, said Corrie, sharper and chillier than it ever had before that night. The shape of a cross etched on the history of the world. The shape of a cross by a God who loves justice and mercy and truth. Last week's lesson reminded me of a song, and this week Corrie ten Boom's words reminded me of a song too. The song is called Here Is Love, It's in our songbook, Praise Glorious, number 29. It's a song from a famous Welsh revival in Wales in 1904. The words start out, "Here is love, vast as the ocean." And Wales is by the ocean. They would know all about that. We're going to listen now as a church in Wales sings the second verse of this song for us. You're welcome to listen or just sing along. God is a God of truth and love. So, love the truth. That's this week's commandment.